YouTube.com/Severix/live. Yes, we are live. Or we should be live. It's
Well, I like your logo. That's really nice.
yeah, they did that ages ago.
Is that meant to be London? It doesn't look like London.
No, it's just some random skyline. Just some random skyline I found. It's okay. Okay, YouTube, we're live. We are also live on Facebook.
Fantastic.
So yep, we're live on Facebook. We're live on thing. I need to just change these settings on Facebook. But guys, yeah, we're live. Welcome to the show. We're back after a bit. Quarantine had us a bit mess. We did try to do a quarantine live show, but it was great. Feedback wasn't all that though. So we are sticking with trying to do it in person. We're not clearly 2 meters apart, but we're both safe.
We're doing our best.
Yeah.
I don't want to be advertising. There you go.
I was gonna say the show is brought to you by Quality Sweets, but it's not. I'm a bit hungry, so I just put it there. Yeah, as you can see, it's a bit messy, but I don't mind and I don't care. I just want to get the show. Obviously, this is late, very, very late. And given the current topics and given the current situation, this should have been done last week. But we were both very busy. Mohsen's currently getting ready, sharing it out. Make sure we get people watching. Because obviously we need people watching. We need people to understand, to see, to know all of this stuff. And we're still live. I don't have any issues. My computer seems fine, like it's handling it.
On silent. Send the link to
Okay,
everybody.
I've sent the link. Good.
I am ready to discuss, Mr. Amir Raza.
You discuss. Now it's my turn to send the link because I've been waffling for a bit. Go on then. What do you have? What do you want to talk
all
about?
the viewers are well. Hope you're healthy. Hope your families are well. Everything's going well for you guys. Everything is A-okay. Hope everyone's in the best of health. And yeah, hopefully today we'll be looking at. Hopefully today we'll be looking at discussing the main issue at the present time, which has affected all of us, especially people of ethnic minority, especially people who are oppressed, marginalized, and also persecuted by governments.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean the impact that the Black Lives Matter movement has had on the world. Even Palestinians, believe it or not, were protesting for Black Lives Matter.
Yeah.
And Palestinians are one of the most oppressed people in the world at the moment due to political situations. It is very, very difficult. Circumstances are very, very difficult for them, and they are being victims of oppression and injustice, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So, and also vice versa. You can't blame the Palestinians for everything. So you can't blame Israel for everything. It's very, very mucky, I would say. However, it's clear that the UN has said that there's illegal settlements there in Palestine, and therefore these people are being oppressed by a foreign regime.
Of course, yeah, okay. Obviously, it's not the first regime to be oppressed. It's I wouldn't say citizens, but with its neighbors, with its people it disagrees with. Because it's not just in Israel and Palestine. You can say this mucky. Around Burma, around or should I say Myanmar, around that region between China and the Himalayan region, so to speak.
Definitely.
Around Nepal and all of them. They have similar people. There are Muslims out there obviously being killed by the locals there as well. So it's not the first time we've heard stories about the oppressed.
I mean, the whole Black Lives Matter movement, which is happening right now, and the protests that are happening, we're not trying to bring every sort of injustice and every sort of oppression into this onto the table. It is directly to do with the way African American people are being treated in America by their government, by their authorities, and so forth, for generations. It's not a recent thing. When I was growing up, we had the Rodney King incident, which was in 1991, 1992. For those of you guys who don't know, Rodney King was an individual who was beaten by 4 police officers. This is in LA, in Los Angeles. He was beaten by 4 police officers, and someone was driving by and had a camcorder, right?
Yeah.
And they recorded the incident, and this went viral. They gave it to all the news which got channels, and then you know there was no internet back then, so it was all on the news channels and everything, and it was given to filmmakers and stuff like that. And basically, it went viral. It started spreading.
Yeah.
People took pictures, put it in newspapers of what happened to Rodney King. And then, you know, there was those police officers were actually arrested and trialed.
Okay, for those people who don't know, can you elaborate what happened? Don't get to too much
Rodney
detail.
King was, as far as I'm aware, he was pulled over by police officers.
Yeah.
He was stopped. It was a stop and search.
Yeah.
Got out of hand, but there were 4 police officers, and it was just Rodney King by himself, and then they just beat him up with their batons. They just beat him up.
This was in America, yeah.
This is LA.
So this is
1991,
this is one of those things where obviously this is very popular in America. They say DWB, driving while black.
Yeah.
And they get stopped, and it's very very unfortunate.
Yeah. So see, I remember back then when it was how it was bad and difficult for black people back then, African American people back then. So it's always been around.
Yeah.
Prejudice. And you know, basically African Americans being treated as second, even third class citizens.
Mm-hmm.
Hispanics, you know, people from the Far East, Korea, Vietnam, and so forth. They don't have it as bad. Even like us Middle Eastern people, okay, pre 9/11,
yeah,
we didn't have it as bad as African Americans. African Americans have had it the worst, and I don't know. And
but going on since slavery, and it's not.
Okay, if you want to go way back to the beginning,
it's there. It's something that's never left.
So
some people say it's gone better. In my eyes, it hasn't gone better. It's just become more silent, or the hatred has become more like.
Possibly.
They don't publicly say, "Oh, we hate black people," or "We hate this group of people," or "this race of people." It's become more and more stuck down. Subliminal, yeah. As in, like, for example, they're not racist. They are racist, but they're not. It's not
systematically or institutionally racist. Yeah, I agree with that. Definitely, it's just one of them things where, unfortunately, the American people haven't, or the American authorities haven't progressed as time has progressed.
Yeah.
So, for example, I was watching a movie where it said how when America was formed and America moved away from British rule.
Hello everyone, welcome. People are saying hello in the comments. I have to say hello, welcome. Can't be rude. Carry on, sorry. Yeah.
So let's start from the beginning, right? From the beginning, yeah. Europeans went over to America. Apparently, Christopher Columbus discovered America. He didn't.
It wasn't the first one.
Yeah, Native Americans discovered Christopher Columbus. And what happened was Europeans started moving to America for a better life. So these Europeans came from Germany, from Holland.
Also like Northern England, like people
from the UK.
Like prisoners from the UK, prisoners of war, people who hate the king, hate the tax laws. Mainly people
that came later, you see, because obviously the UK, America was colonized, right?
Yeah.
By the Spanish originally, right?
Yeah, from Florida around.
And then the British came over, the Dutch came over. Like we went to New York. New York has a very very big Dutch influence, and there's a lot of Dutch settlers there, and then the Germans and so forth. But they still had links to back home to their kingdoms.
Yes.
Yeah,
they were still followed.
So for those of you who are from New York, or those you know about New York, Brooklyn and Queens is actually Brooklyn is meant to be king, like Kingsborough, and Queens is the borough of Queens, which is what's the word, in honor of their kings and queens of their royal family back home in Holland. And we have a guest with us.
He's always here every live show. He never leaves. The great albino.
Just a bit more forward.
I just saw chocolate on your feed.
What of that in the comments are going crazy. How did you lose all that weight?
By eating chocolates,
By jogging around the studio.
If you guys subscribe to Sayyid Murtada's Fat Loss Challenge.
Yeah, if you want. This show is sponsored by the Great Albino Weight Loss Regime, and it does not involve magic dust. Don't worry.
It involves Kima.
But yeah, anyway. So back on serious notes. So Brooklyn was Kingsbury, essentially.
Yeah, Kingsbury and then Queensbury, right? So it was named in honor of the Kings
round the corner, but yeah.
Right. So moving on, they wanted to break away from these monarchs.
Their heritage.
Yeah, they wanted to break away. Why we're American people? So this is a couple of generations after. We're American people. Why should we be ruled and governed by kings and queens of England and Germany and of Holland and so forth? So that's when the Civil War happened, and that's when they wanted their own independence.
Yeah.
When that happened, when the independence happened and everything, and I was watching a movie about this, yeah. When you go when you go to court in America, do you know what the ruling was?
What?
You would be summoned in front of a court from judge,
Yeah.
and a jury made up of 5, I think it was 5 or 10
Yeah.
white property owning males.
Only males, only white, only property owning.
Yeah,
I swear that at the time, even in
white property.
not only
owning
in
males.
UK but in America at the time, only white males who owned property could vote as well.
Yeah, along them lines.
Yeah.
That's why women couldn't vote. It was white property owning males, and later on it also included soldiers or people who would fight
In the war.
in the military.
Yeah.
Because they were giving up their lives for their country,
They had the right.
they
to
had
say.
a right to vote. Because women didn't fight for the country or they didn't put their lives on the line for the
Yeah.
country, that's why they weren't given the vote.
Yeah.
Which later on they changed, obviously, with which call it feminists. You don't want to say feminists, but let's just say females looking for equal rights and equal opportunities. Protested and asked for a better
Yeah.
you could say a right to vote, I guess. Was known as what trouble. Okay, so we see from the early history of America, it's always been like white dominated. Even that it's already been mentioning white.
Literally, I'm reading comments about these chocolate look amazing.
That's
but
why I came in. I
chocolates
saw them
are
on
one way to lose weight. And so one of them said, "Well done on the weight job loss." So,
it. I
congratulations.
worked really hard for it.
Yeah,
I paid
congratulations.
it all money.
To the personal trainer.
He's like, by the way, someone just said it's war of independence, not just civil war. Just FYI. Thank you very much.
Thank you for that.
Yeah,
It's known as the War of Independence. Yeah. So, thank you, Murtaba. So we see from the beginning, there's always been like this, you could say, ethnic dominance,
Yeah.
of a race in America. There's
Just
been
segregation in general.
apartheid. Okay, you could say there's apartheid.
Yeah.
Not to forget the genocide of the Native Americans that happened, up to about 10 million. They said minimum 10 million. They said were killed so that they could take over the land. Okay, moving on. So slave trade came in.
Yeah.
People to work on the farms and on the fields in the Americas, in the South America,
Yeah.
also the Caribbean, very very famous for the cotton fields and the sugarcane plantations. This is where Africans were taken over, not taken over like they took over, but they were picked up and taken to the Americas
Yeah.
to work, and because they were slaves, they weren't given any rights.
No, right. Yeah, nothing.
To be honest,
the thing is, even if you take a side, like obviously it's really bad, they have no rights. I think they got shit all. Sorry for my language, they got shit all.
no, they didn't get nothing.
And as well as that, as worse than that, the conditions they were living in. Just like you're bringing in slaves over into your country. Not only you train them like shit, their accommodation. It was this like I would read. Okay, that's a lie. I don't read books. I would see movies depicting the situation.
Go back before that, yeah. Never mind, like when they got there, the actual journey, the journey from Africa to the Americas.
It's terrible.
Yeah, they wouldn't get fed. Anyone who
It's
died
worse
was
than
just picked up and thrown over the. into the
people who
water.
are vegan out there due to like animal cruelty and whatever. If you look at that, it was basically conditions like that, or even worse, but for humans.
Yeah.
Going from one continent to another, it was
Terrible. It was terrible. They weren't fed. They were beaten. Anyone died was thrown overboard. And it's a 3-week journey.
Yeah.
So how long can you survive with no food or water, or minimum food and water for 3 weeks?
Or handcuffed and chained.
Yeah.
At the
They
bottom,
squashed them all in. They really like
you
everything.
could drown and this and like.
I mean, I haven't done enough research and reading on the
Poison.
actual slave
Like,
trade.
there was rats on the ship as well. They brought rats with them,
obviously.
and like it was terrible.
So now we've got slaves in America, and then them being mistreated, not given any rights whatsoever. And I believe it's Abraham Lincoln that was the one who abolished slavery.
Yep.
So we've got slavery abolished. Now this is where it will change for black people in America. Is that okay? Slavery was abolished, but then what happened? Did black people have the right to own property?
No.
Did black people have the right to vote? Did black people have the right to an education and so forth?
Didn't have any rights.
Exactly. What rights did black people have apart from that they could not be owned or they could not be bought and sold?
There's still not freedom.
You know what I mean? What rights did they have? What freedoms did they have? And then this is where we get the Martin Luther Kings, and then we get the the Malcolm X's, the Rosa Parks, and so forth, and people.
The figureheads.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean the Million Man March.
Yeah.
This is the civil rights movement, that happened. So this is where this came into place. That okay, African Americans, and we're talking slaves came over from Africa. They've been about 2, 3, 4, 5 generations now. The Americans, they've been there's no more slavery. Slavery's been abolished, but they haven't been seen as equals.
Do you want to this? Yeah.
To their other American counterparts.
And it's not just in America. It happens everywhere. You go like even in the Middle East, there are still, or not just Middle East, wherever I think anywhere you go, as long as you look different, not even to the majority, you look different to the idea of the perfect person. Your dirty looks. Even in India, I saw this clip by Hassan Minhaj. I think you've seen it as well, where he's like, even in India, even though they're majority brown people, they all advertise clearer skin and like
it's
whiter
not just
skin.
in India. This is
Like Africa.
This is in the West Indies. It's a big issue. Bleaching is a big issue in Jamaica.
Yeah.
And it's
Like why lighter is better? It's not.
It's seen as more admirable. It's
Yeah.
seen as more beautiful, you could say. And that's the fault. Whose fault is that? Now, if we can talk for ages about how it happened,
It's
who's
Western
done
media. It's
it?
Western media because
You could say
before
Western
that,
media.
before like the whole idea of colonization, the whole idea of expansion, Western media dictates. It's so biased. Media is so biased that there's even a theory. I've studied media, and I've learned the male gaze theory. Even if you're a female, even if it's sexist, as long as this thing appeals to the male gaze, you will sell it. So girls wearing tight clothes and like sexualizing women for media, it works on women too.
Yeah,
it's called the male.
they-
It's called the male gaze
he
theory.
did it with the cars, didn't it?
Yeah.
They started putting girls in bikinis and stuff on
So like
cars.
so
to
here's
make it
here's
more
a Ferrari.
desirable
Here's a
to
Ferrari
purchase it.
worth $1 million. Do you wanna buy it? No. Here's a Ferrari worth 1,200,000, more expensive, but there's two girls in bikinis sitting next to it.
Yeah.
Oh, I have to buy. Like it's
Yeah.
that whole male gaze theory. Like all of that, it's true, and it's wrong. Like even with the whole sexualizing of women on thing, or like we're going off topic here, but like it's oppression and segregation has always there, and always like there's always that one perfect person or one perfect ideology that people want to aspire to. In Iran, there's definitely for sure. India, people complain a lot. Like if you're slightly darker skinned. I don't know if it's about in your family, but again, Hassan Minhaj gave an example. They take the piss of someone who's slightly darker skinned in the family.
Yeah. Even in Pakistan, it's like that.
Like,
Yeah, it's like that.
like they go around calling each other like if he's dark. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, and I don't mean to offend anyone. Like, if he's darker skinned or whatever, or if there is someone who's darker skinned, even in the family, you just go, oh, he's blackie, or in Urdu you say kala.
Yeah. They'll say like he's dark or he's black.
And they mean it in an
also-
offensive way. They don't mean it in a positive way.
And
Yeah.
it's like and it's seen as a you could say a taboo, or it's seen as something. It's like the way in English culture you have a ginger kid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Oh, he's ginger, this and that.
Yeah.
And they take the mick out of him. It can be playful. Sometimes it can be taken too far. It's the same like that with people of darker skin. Also with the caste system that we have in India. We have a caste system as well in Pakistan, but it's very different. The Indian caste system, they have like the Brahmins at the top, and then at the bottom, I can't remember what they're called, but they're known as the untouchables.
Mm-hmm.
You don't even touch them. Yeah. And these people are of very, very dark skin because
Similar to America
because
and the Rosa Parks,
they're a lower caste, which means they work harder. If you're working hard, that means you're working out in the plantation fields or in the farms and so forth. You're out in the sunlight, so they get darker skin.
Mm-hmm.
Rich people don't work as much; they stay indoors because of the heat. They have lighter skin. They're not
It's
as
a
tanned.
prestigious thing as well.
Yeah, it's not as tanned. So
but could you say this? So maybe this racism could have stemmed from, like, the whole back in the day, because obviously you work in the field, you get darker skin due to all the, I forgot what it's called, but because of the UV rays and you get
the melanin,
the melanin, yeah.
pigments in your skin.
Because of that, and like, so if you're rich, you'll be indoors, you'll be lighter.
Yeah.
So maybe that's where it's all probably stemmed from.
I think personally,
Like it started prejudice first on like
it can do
working
that.
class against higher class, and then it's gone so deep into that anyone now is just
It
just
can
because
be,
they're different.
But I think that with colonization from the Europeans, a lot of us were made to feel that we're not beautiful.
But even in Japan, so it was,
Who's shouting out?
so shout out to Luke. He's very intellectual. Chats loads of shit, but he's very intellectual. He's like whitenings of the skin also happens in Imperial Japan.
I thought Japanese people are quite fair, to be honest.
Yeah, but exactly. So that's
They
why-
want to make themselves fairer.
Exactly. So like you know those I don't know the exact wording, but like in Japanese plays or when they're doing a dance,
powder.
they whiten the skin even more. It's
yeah.
not a clown thing. It's something. It's a beauty thing.
Yeah,
so in
yeah,
UK,
they do.
in
Even,
UK or anything, when you go on
What are they
TV,
called? Geisha.
yeah, something like that.
The
Yeah, yeah.
geishas, they that's how they
Yeah.
dress their,
So like
their makeup.
in here, when
Those
you go
white
to makeup
powder.
on TV, they get contour, contour your skin in however way, shape or form, and they try and beautify you. In Japan, that's how they do it, and that's Imperial Japan, not now. But again,
Yeah.
that's how you do it. And you can even say similar to K-pop. All or majority of K-pop artists all lighter skin than normal, or they have to go through some skin bleaching type thing to be before, because K-pop stars are all manufactured. None of them are like natural talent. They doesn't like so.
That's what a lot of pop stars, to be honest. They're just there for their good.
No,
looks.
but as in like,
They really don't
so
have-
you know
can't
those
sing.
rumors of like those Russian factories where kids are born into becoming killers for the KGB.
Bloody hell.
Similar to K-pop, you're born into becoming starhood. They like train you. You go to
Oh, from a
special
young
school
age, yeah.
from a young age. You're trained. So
I
you're
saw something on
trained.
that.
So all K-pop stars are not like natural born. Like all of a sudden they made
You
it.
know, was the beauty pageants they have in the US.
Yeah.
There's a program. Don't know if you guys have watched it, where they're training little kids at 5 years old how to enter a beauty.
That's what I'm saying.
Pageant
So it's like
contest
that,
and-
but that's training. That's different. This one is like obligatory. You wake up
Oh,
7 a.m. You do
damn.
vocal lessons. You do. It's like it's so bad. And like part of that whole training to be a K-pop star is, and correct me if I'm wrong. I'm most likely wrong, but like I've seen it where like they've lightened your skin. China,
Really?
They do that in China for China stars, in South Korea for K-pop stars. Like it has happened. You see even famous
But
people.
to be honest,
now.
that's not in Bollywood as well. For,
Oh, yeah,
for
of
you
course,
guys,
like, I've seen
Shah
Bollywood.
Rukh Khan, right?
Yeah.
Believe it or not, Shah Rukh Khan, he is a lot darker than me. If you see Shah Rukh Khan, you're gonna think. Now he's originally his father is from Peshawar, so he's like Afghan basically.
Yeah.
Right. His granddad is Afghan. His father's a Pashtun as well, and he is as dark as you could say in Indian, like from the middle towards the south of India. So like your Mr. Patels or your
Yeah.
things not because the northerners are more fair because there's less heat and then
Yeah.
there's more they're more from the
And
mountains.
it's also to do with the
But yeah,
colonization of.
but look, Shah Rukh Khan is that dark, but when you see him on
He's
camera,
Yeah.
he's almost as fair as me, maybe
Yeah.
even fairer. But in reality, he's dark. So why are Bollywood making him lighter? You know,
Yeah.
why is the makeup done in such a way? Another one you can shout out is Michael Jackson. You know what I mean? Now, the man's died.
That's a whole conspiracy.
Don't
theory
want
in
to
itself.
shout. Don't want to shout. Don't want to really, badmouth Michael Jackson for
That's all
because
conspiracy.
he's
Yeah.
dead in it and whatever. But an argument, a really fair argument was, Michael Jackson, you're black, and you've got, they say he had vitiligo or something, or he had some sort of skin issue where he was going fair and whatever. And the argument was, okay, fine. But why are you using yourself to like lighten your makeup to lighten your skin
Yeah.
color? Why aren't you putting makeup on to make yourself look like a black man?
Yeah.
And all these changes you have into your face. Your
Again,
nose
it's
and this and that.
it's all back to
You
Western
know?
society. The whole male gaze theory. Doesn't have to be male gaze. Even just the theory of what sells. And even in India, what sells is lighter complexion. K-pop artists and like even just everyday life. Like when it comes to hiring job applications or like I've seen some YouTubers who come out say like I've achieved this, I've achieved this, I've achieved this. So there's a black YouTuber. He's like, I've achieved this, I've achieved this, and I've achieved this. But I don't know if I've achieved it because I'm great or if they pick me to be because I'm one of the black guys. This guy does ultimate frisbee. Yeah, very rare for obviously in America. Very rare for a black guy to do ultimate frisbee as a professional sport. But he's like, oh yeah, I made the professional team. I did this. But then I think to myself, did I make the team because I'm good or because I'm black? And I'm like, and that hit me. I'm like, raw. Like so there's a whole thing going on with Harvard. Like, white people are suing Harvard because less white people are getting in because they have to hit the diversity quota where how much percentage is diverse and is not diverse. That's what I'm saying. So it's all stem from like it's not just
let's discuss that though. Harvard University, should it be diversified or should it be those who get the highest grades should enter.
Yeah, forget names, forget faces, forget location. Look at them raw. Give them an ID number. Give them and their grades. For example, what's his punctuality like? What's his grades like? What's his attitude like? That's it. A barcode with a bunch of data. No name, no face, no case. Literally. And then that's how you show pure.
But what happens? I'm not saying that this is gonna happen, right? But what happens if that they check all of the names and all the records and like
that's it. He clicks approve. That's it. He doesn't know. That's it.
What if they're all white or what if they're all black?
Then that's the case because they didn't. That's a system that shows.
But I'm not trying to say white people are more superior in intelligence to black people, or black people are more superior to intelligence to white people. I think intelligence is just intelligence.
As I know, that's what I'm saying.
People are of different
if it is,
intelligence, but it's not dictated by your race.
But that's what I'm saying.
But yeah, so what happens then?
But then
Harvard is full of white people. Harvard.
Okay, but then another issue you can take is, for example, some person because he's from a different background, he doesn't have access to the higher education, so he can't apply to Harvard. For example, I'm a child of people who immigrated to this country. Okay, we obviously didn't start off great. We're not millionaires. We're not rich.
You had public schooling.
We're in a public
state schooling. You didn't have private schooling.
Yeah, we didn't have private schooling. So that's what I'm saying. So that's one way to try and deter all of that, but it doesn't always work. But I'm saying like in America, loads of I hear loads of lawsuits from either white people shouting out or minority shouting out, like the black people, Asian people, just saying we can't get into this establishment because we're not white. But
that's true though.
Or for example, we're getting in. For example, you might get in to this establishment. We're both, for example, minorities. Yeah. We're both not white. We don't follow the ideal of the perfect person. Yeah. Me and you apply to the same place. I'm better, for example, I'm better qualified than you. I show better attitude and I have better grades and I've got history to prove it. But you probably get in because you're more darker skin because you fit the diverse criteria. So like it's still we're both Muslim. We're both from Middle Eastern Asian background, but again it's fight amongst us as well. Because like we're slightly different, or because I'm Iranian, they say, oh, he's Iranian, he definitely can't go because F Iran, F whatever. No, like it's true. Like I don't obviously agree with the policy of the country I'm from. I'm Iranian. I don't believe in the policy. I don't believe in how I've been there and I did not like it, and I probably won't. By
the way, you're talking about Harvard, and you're talking about that there's not enough white people, and so forth. There's a university. I can't remember the name of it. It's the one that it was established by Martin Luther King. I don't know if it's Martin Luther King University or what. Yeah. But it's traditionally a university, a college for black people.
Oh, that's Brown, no? Not Brown. That's.
Do you know what I'm talking about? It's a really famous
I saw it in Blackish.
There's a famous university and it's for black people, for black academics to go to. And then they had the guy, they had white people applying for that uni, and they've got like a small percentage of white people.
Yeah, I think it's Brown University.
And is it Brown University?
I think I may be wrong. I may be very, very wrong, but I think it's Brown University.
It's an Ivy League.
It's an Ivy League university. Yeah, it's Ivy League.
So this university now has a small percentage of white people there as well. And African American people were like, "Yo, what's going on? You know what I mean? Like, what's happening here? This has traditionally been like an establishment for people of African American heritage, because we couldn't get into all of the other Ivy League universities and so forth." So yeah, like it's one of those. It's really.
I think Brown University and I think Howard University.
I've heard Howard University.
I've heard that. Yeah,
I think it's that one, Howard University.
Yeah, that's again. I've learned all of this from watching Blackish, but like I think it's Howard and Brown, other two like predominantly made for African Americans. There's another one as well from Dear White People, which is that real? I think that's a real university as well.
What's it called? I haven't seen Dear White People. I don't know what that is.
Sounds
interesting.
Dear White People is amazing. It literally discusses or it shows exactly what we're talking about. Worcester University.
Oh, okay.
It's like it does exist. It does exist. And it does show and explain how like racist people, like for example, there's an accommodation hall, where it's not majority, it's all black people, all African Americans. Okay. And like no white person dares to step inside. It's like that whole racist mentality is just. Is it another one? It's not Brown.
No, but the thing.
Morehouse College.
Is it?
It's more. Well, again, these are.
No, but the thing is, you say no, white American dares walks in, but I'm sure they're welcome to walk in.
No, they are. No, it's not. It's just a stereotype. It's like, for example, when you walk around an area and it's a predominantly black neighborhood, or it's a predominantly ethnic neighborhood, whereas either diverse
Yeah.
or just certain.
Bushwick, Brooklyn.
It's concentrated. It concentrates with a certain amount of people. People get scared. Like especially here in UK, in London, it happens as well. For example, I know a few people who walk down the street wait, our camera's off. Oh, why is our camera just turned off? Why? Oh, wait,
Battery.
I changed the battery.
Are we still live? Are we not live?
You can still hear us.
Oh, nice. So I mean, I was changing the battery. In the meantime, I'm going to carry on discussing that. Yeah, what I mean, I was premise, which was that certain people do find themselves in intimidating situations when walking through, you could say, less privileged areas of a city.
Not just less privileged areas, just areas they think is bad because of stereotypes. They see people in hoodies, they go crazy.
Yeah, they do. But the thing is, though, I mean, have you like ever been approached by people to like? Have you ever been a victim of like robbery or an assault or harassment or anything like that?
No, okay.
Cameras back on, by the way.
Okay, so not harassment per se, not robbery per se. If anyone who comes up to me, as a teenager myself, I've had people who are scared of me because I'm a teenager, because I'm the guy in the hoodie with a group of people,
Yeah.
and we're a group of diverse people who look like hooligans. So, and like I've never obviously been harassed by anyone, and if anyone does come up to me, I treat them with the same respect as I would treat anyone, even as the close. I'll treat them with the same respect I have for you, because I don't know them. So that's what I try and portray.
Yeah, okay, that's fine, right? And most people don't know that you were raised with manners and so forth.
No, it's not raising manners. Like for example, if someone comes up to me and treats me like a stereotype, like I'm a hooligan guy that's gonna rob them, yeah, because I'm from the hood or I'm from the thing, yeah, I'm pretty sure it goes for anyone. If someone treats me like I'm gonna do something bad, I will do something bad because you're playing the stereotype, not me. You come to me straight away, you feel some.
I don't think you'll do anything, Amir. And I'm telling you, don't do anything.
No, as in like, for example, I just came out of Tesco's, yeah, I'm with my boys, we ordered chocolate, we're walking down, yeah. This guy who's on the same side of the street crosses the street, why? Because he's scared we're gonna rob him or something, yeah. I'm surrounded by random group of people, yeah, random diverse group of people from random areas of London, random areas of the world, yeah. Well, we just look like diverse hooligans, yeah. People say, oh, they're in a gang or they're in this, they're in that. I'm like, no, it's not. It's just we're a group of friends going home.
Yeah, but they're still intimidated.
No, I don't.
Are you sure?
I don't have Apple Watch, sorry.
So yeah, that's
This is my guy.
Wahidi. He's been on before, hasn't he?
He's been-
Come,
I
tell us
don't
about Black Lives Matter or not. Do you want to tell them to speak a little bit about it?
You know, humanity,
Yeah,
everybody thinks they are the best.
really.
And this is wrong.
I think that's specifically with Iranians.
No, I'm not talking about Iranians or anybody, but they think they are the best.
That's
which
true.
is wrong.
Yeah,
Yeah? If, as everybody's saying, if you cut the
skin.
flesh,
yeah,
yeah, same color blood comes out. It doesn't
Indeed,
matter which color
indeed.
you are. You can be black because of the sun.
yeah.
You can be black because of Africa. You can be anything. You can be white and not see any sun like the people
Yeah.
who lives in the North Pole. So what's the difference? There's no
Indeed.
difference. This is humanity, yeah. God
Bah,
created
bah.
human, doesn't matter.
Bah,
in
bah.
white or- God didn't create specifically this one have to be white, this one have to be black. No, the color is because of the what do you call it? The location of the earth, the way that the sun is. So it's all to do with this. Otherwise, everybody's the same. We are human.
And that was Wahidi's
That's one of the chocolate.
wondrous
Come,
wisdom.
it's fine. Your face will be on camera. Your face will be on. There you go. Just
And that was Wahidi's wonderful, wondrous wisdom in one sentence. MashaAllah.
Go to applestore.com. Okay, sorry, I forgot what we were saying, but yeah, look.
You talked about being intimidated.
So I personally never felt intimidated. Because I know if someone comes up to me, yeah, their intent at first won't be ill. So I've been in situations where the intent was ill and they were to try to rob me, but I didn't change the way I dealt in the situation because I don't know what the other guy's experience have been through. I can say any word, even funny words like orange, which means a fruit or a color. That can intimidate, that can upset someone because you never know. I had the supply teacher, I made her cry because I said the word orange. My classmates remember this. They've said it.
What? You said orange and she's like crying.
She started. So we were just annoying them and whatnot. One of my friends, I'm not gonna mention his name. He knows who he is. They're probably not gonna watch this. Well, he said the word orange and just oranges and just like he just fantasized about the word orange in that moment, and then we all started saying it as jokes because you know we're kids.
Oh, you're just
But she just started crying, just like she had some mad PTSD with orange. But
Yeah.
like you never know what someone's been through. So you try and approach the situation with the best intentions. If someone comes up to me, yeah, in a hoodie, tracksuit, it can be black, it can be Asian, it can be whoever, yeah, and he can be walking as raw as he wants or as hooligan or whatever. He comes up to me, he's not gonna rob. He's gonna ask me, "Do you have a lighter?" Or "Can I borrow your phone? I need to call someone." And that has happened. I've given them my phone.
Yeah.
They've called someone. They've give my phone back. Or there's people out there like, "Oh, do you know this direction?" Just because of what he's wearing or how he looks like, you don't know crap all about anything. Maybe he's an homeless man asking for 10p so he can go buy some cornflakes. I've had that before.
Fair enough.
Like,
But also, I mean, there's some people in America have been victims of certain crimes such as robbery or actual body harm or scams or whatever. And it was by people from unprivileged backgrounds. Now, I'm not mentioning skin color because it doesn't matter.
yeah.
When you come from an unprivileged background or an area, city which is really what's the word? Run down.
Yeah.
Yeah, they go to a poor part of a neighborhood, and they were approached by a gang of youth, and then they might have been robbed or they might have got attacked or something. Then they are a little bit more cautious and more conscious when they're walking around and they see a similar group that looks similar or speaks similar and say, well, last time I bumped into people like this is what happened.
No, but I've seen people who have no experience whatsoever. You can tell they have no experience because all they do is watch Attack the Block and shows like that portray people from certain areas like the way they are. Like they're in gangs or they're hooligans or they're going to do something.
Yeah, media don't help, I'll be honest. Yeah, media don't help.
Like that's what I'm saying. They portray this narrative that look, if you're from this region or this region, like if you're from Brooklyn or if you're from Wood Green, or you're from this has happened.
Compton.
Like you shouldn't generalize based on region. Again, you're like, oh, I'm not racist, but you're doing in your own city because this region is predominantly this type of people who do this type of thing. Yeah. So what if they sell weed or whatever? Technically, sell it? No, it's not selling. You can hold weed, yeah. But if you intend to sell, that's when you're in trouble, innit? So just because he's got something doesn't mean he's gonna do shit. I might have it because I'm medically crazy. Yeah, you look at the way I speak. But like you people like, oh, I'm not racist. I love everyone from all over the world, whether from Africa, Asia, Europe, whatever. But then in your own city, you don't go to certain regions because you're scared of whatever. That's the same regionalized
I'll be real.
bias that you don't want to portray on the worldwide scale, but you can do it internally, even in a 5-mile radius. I'm not gonna go down this alleyway because alleyways are for. I'm like, just go away.
No, but the other thing is, Raza, right? If you in America, they associate ghettos with like colored people.
Yeah.
So, but the question is, how did the colored people get there? Whether
cheap.
Latino or whether they're African American or whether they're Arab, and let's be fair and real, that a lot of these neighborhoods, right? Name me a famous ghetto in America. Brooklyn. Compton. Just name me one.
I'll just name you two.
Okay, Compton, right?
Yeah.
I can guarantee you, if you went to Compton, Los Angeles, right, you will find Mexicans there. You will find African Americans there.
Not a variety.
You will find Koreans there.
Yeah.
You will find Vietnamese. You will find probably Japanese, Chinese. You will find.
It's just cheap. It's cheap.
Pakistanis,
It's because they're
Indians, Iranians.
because they're traveling there. They want a cheap place to live in
It's not just immigration. You need to remember that there was African Americans there from a long time. They put them in the cheap areas. You know what I mean? They purposely put them in these, in areas when they went for housing.
Yeah, look at London, for example. You got people living in Wood Green, and you got people living in Edmonton and up north, and you got people living in Chelsea.
Exactly.
People in Kensington.
Exactly.
It's miles separation. Like I walk down the high streets of Wood Green. There's a cinema there, shopping centre there. Nice place, has a variety of shops. Wood Green's really nice. I like the place. I go around. It's very diverse, random, wild group of people, up and coming for sure. And then you go Chelsea.
Kings Road.
Yeah, like
It's something else.
yeah.
Kingswood.
Like
right.
Wood Green is packed, it's crazy. Everyone's trying to do something. Obviously, in the time of Corona, it's slightly different, but everyone's trying to do something. Everyone's trying to achieve somewhere, go somewhere. And you go like, you go like somewhere like Chelsea, or you go somewhere not central, but
New Barnet.
yeah. And I know, and you go Barnet a lot.
Forget that. Have you been to South East London?
No.
For those of you who don't know, alright, back in my day, South East London was white ghetto. Yeah, it was white people, right, English people, and it was very, very run down. And I'm talking Tower Hamlets. I'm talking if you've heard of a football club called Millwall and that area around there. So that's what Surrey Quays and places like that. And what I was going on to was like racism in the UK, and especially what happened in Eltham. Now people who don't know about Eltham, so it's in South East London, it's near Catford in Lewisham. You've got we had the Stephen Lawrence incident, but what I was actually going to was that if you look at these areas, these ghettos or these underprivileged areas or underfinanced areas where there were poor white people, they would put the people of colour, shout out to Sam, they would put people of colour in those areas because they didn't want, let's go on to the second thing. Have you seen the film The Banker?
I want to watch it. It's sick. It's on Apple.
Watch The Banker because it shows
with
you Samuel Jackson,
Sam Jackson and Anthony.
What's the guy?
Anthony something.
The guy who plays Iron Man to the second Iron Man.
No, that's not him. It's the guy who plays Falcon in the Avengers.
Is that his name?
He's Falcon. Yeah. Anthony.
Oh,
No, he was always that, bruv. You're messing up your people, bruv. You're messing up your actors.
So yeah, it's the guy.
It's antonomic something. Where is it? Anthony Mackie.
Yeah, Anthony
That
Mackie.
guy.
Anthony Mackie and Samuel Jackson.
Sick.
Guys, watch that film because it will show you how white people, I don't say white people, but white Americans didn't want African Americans in their neighborhoods, like buying houses and stuff.
Like if you see just the trailer, these two guys partner up. They find a white guy to play their dummy. The guy buys all the houses on his name, and then he's just a face. Samuel Jackson and Anthony Mackie are the brains behind the scene. They buy houses for everyone and give it and sell it to all the people they know with with what?
The idea is basically this.
Like you can elaborate, yeah.
The idea is that because housing wasn't given to people of color, and it's just even if they had the money and the perfect credit score and credit history,
They still won't get it.
reliable, like for example, black doctors, black lawyers. People like that really,
Worked hard and
reliable people with really high wages. They were not given
the same opportunities.
So what they did was, I'm not going to spoil it for you, but the film will show you how, you could, if it's fair to say, like the more financially rich people of color manage to purchase property in better areas for them to live in. And let's be real. If you were a white person, right, and in that time, and we're talking 1920s, 1930s America.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a white lady, and there's a black man moving, a black family moving in next door, this white lady may have some reservations.
No,
However,
reservation will be shitting bricks.
Okay,
Because she's
fine, but if
like,
she found
that's
out,
how racist. That's how.
Yeah, but if she found out the guy's a doctor, would you like a doctor living next to you?
I would love it. I don't
would love
care,
to have a doctor living next to me.
bruv. Doctor,
You know what I mean?
nurse, anyone, bruv.
You know what I mean? Someone you can think
Especially for an old lady, bruv.
medical
Like,
advice
yeah,
and so forth, you know what I mean?
yeah.
So it kind of flips it on its head that I'm black or I'm a person of color, but I'm a doctor, and it's like, do you know what? You being a doctor means more to me than me having this stereotype of you being a colored man or a person of color. So you know what I mean? That film really depicts that and shows that. I really recommend you guys watch it. Watch The Banker, and also watch Just Mercy. That's a really good film. Michael B. Jordan. He plays a Harvard graduate who goes into law, who goes to specifically to represent black inmates on death row. So if you guys know what
I think
death
I've
row
heard
is,
of that. I've heard of that.
I watched it. Fantastic film. Black prisoners on death row who have been wrongly accused and weren't given a fair trial. He goes and he represents them. And these people on death row means they're going to get the electric chair or they're going to get
I don't.
death penalty.
This
So it's to reverse the death penalty.
is a
It's
whole
really
other
good.
topic, but I disagree with the death sentence and the way it's done in America. It's absolutely dope. We don't have death sentence in the UK, do we?
No, definitely
Yeah,
it was a
we-
knowledge
yeah.
bomb.
So yeah, we don't have death sentence, but
He
it
used to
de-
get hanged.
but in America, the death sentence is abominable. Like, fam, you can have the shittest trial, yeah, with the shittest lawyers and stuff, yeah, but like, if the jury's biased. The jury is biased from the get go because he's on a death row sentence. Because he's on a death row sentence, the jury's biased already to most likely give him death row, no matter where they're from or what they've done. Like,
Depends on the crime.
okay, of course, yeah. So okay, we've completely diverged from the original point of our topics on our notes, because here we have, we want to talk about the riots. We want to talk about the reaction the people have shown, on what happened in America. So it all started. The main kicking point, the main turning point was George Floyd.
Yeah, I mean,
Like
I was
I've,
researching. I didn't get the guy's name. This wasn't the first person to be choked to death by the police.
of course,
I mean,
This is just
there's
the first
cases
part-
that we don't know
Yeah.
about. But remember the famous one,
yeah.
the big guy. There was a big tall
I think yeah.
African American, and he wasn't resisting or anything. And
think-
then they tried to bring him down. Then they choked him and they held him like a headlock and they choked him and he was like, I can't breathe.
Yeah,
And the next thing you know, he's dead. And they're trying to like bring him back. You know what I mean? They're trying to resuscitate him or they're trying to bring him back to.
and this also comes to thing, you know, like this has been shown in media as well. Orange is the New Black.
Okay, yeah.
You know of my,
I haven't seen it, but I know it's quite famous. Drama.
There is a
Comedy,
bit-
isn't it? Black comedy,
yeah,
dark comedy. Guys.
the comedy. Yeah, there's too much chocolate. Oh. Oh my god, sorry. Basically, everyone who watches Orange is the New Black would know, Pusey, or I forgot I know her last name's Washington, or Pusey Washington. She's one of the characters there, and in one of the episodes, literally what happened to George Floyd, similar case. There's a riot inside so it's based on women in prison. There's a riot in prison. Pusey Washington, she's a young African American daughter of a soldier,
Okay.
military head, and she's in prison because she did some drugs and stuff, or she had them on her possession at the time. She was in prison, and there's a riot, and then she's like, everyone's standing in the dining hall on top of their chairs, and they're like, "Yo, leave me alone." She comes out saying, "Look, leave them. It's fine. I'm fine." And then she gets dropped to the floor, and the guy is putting his knee on her back, and then she dies because of that. Similar to what happened to George Floyd. So this has been shown in.
Orange is New Black.
It's been shown on television. It's been televised. It's been televised that it does exist, even unintentionally. So the officer or the CO who was doing this, it's just some dumb kid doesn't have no idea what he's doing. Yeah, but because he was white, he got let off on so much shit.
Yeah.
It was a white guy versus a black woman. Like he got let off on so much shit. It's mad.
You seen Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
Yeah.
Have you seen the episode where the commissioner's son is like spray painting on police
Yeah.
cars and stuff?
And yeah, it gets off. Not only because he's the commissioner's son, it's probably because he's white.
Exactly.
And there's like I think every major TV show, yeah, like Brooklyn Nine-Nine, there's another episode where Terry Crews talks about like how because he's black, he got stopped. He literally walked to the street, picked up his daughter's toy, and was going back to his house. Police stops him. Why? Because he doesn't look like he deserves to be there. He's in his tracksuit, just went for a jog, came back home, he's like, "Oh shit, that's my daughter's toy on the floor."
Yeah.
Picks it up, goes back home, the police stops him. He's like, "Look, I'm an officer, my badge is at home. Let me just go show you." He's like, "No," he arrests him and puts him on the ground. I'm like, if that's on TV shows, God knows what happens in real life. If this is what we see in like programs that people make for you to watch on TV, consumable content that people pay for, yeah, you watch that and that's what you see. Imagine what you see in real life.
It can be a bit extreme as well. We know that some movies.
Yes, they exaggerate.
Yeah, they
But I'm saying,
exaggerate a
so,
little bit.
but like, if you watch that, you'll be like, "Oh my god, that's a bit bad," or "That's a bit thing." You know, it's exaggerated. But what happens in real life? Yes, movies exaggerate what happens in real life, but how exaggerated? Sometimes it's not even exaggerated at all. They actually have to quieten it down so it's TV approved.
Tone it down.
Exactly. Like with what happened with George Floyd, it's like this guy, he knew what he was doing. You can see in his eyes, like, I don't give a shit. I'm not getting up. I don't know what he was waiting for. I don't know the full story. I don't know what he was waiting for. But and as well as apparently, George Floyd knew the officer. The guy on his neck, he knew him from back in the day.
Okay.
They used to like work together or something. Someone correct me if I need. And Luke, thank you for the statistics. He said, in the United States, police have killed 1,000 people in the past year. I don't know if
That's
that.
crazy.
I think that's only recorded deaths that police have done. That's probably gone through court. There's probably loads that haven't gone through court, or loads of unlawful arrest that has led to unlawful imprisonment that can lead to deaths. So like, so many stuff can happen. Like George Floyd knew this guy. The white, I don't even know the police officer's name. Don't even say. He doesn't deserve his name to be said. Fuck him. Sorry, I very apologize. It's meant to be PG. This guy knew him from back in the day, and imagine all that hatred. And he's bad enough, he's racist. But all that hatred he built up inside him, and stopped and fought. The guy was shopping. Yeah. Like maybe he had a prior, or maybe he had this, but you can't detain someone without lawful reason. You officers, you signed to protect and serve and not to be discriminatory. You signed that. I was on my call with one of my friends. He said, I wish they would sign contracts so police can't do that. And if they do, they get fired or they get sacked or they go to prison. Their law is, their motto is serve and protect. In there says, I have right to hold the Constitution. I have right to hold to protect and serve every American or every whoever, no matter where they're from, what they're doing, or whatever.
But there's an issue here.
Like, okay, say someone just said they worked as bouncers together for a bar/restaurant.
Wow. So
imagine you like, he was your colleague, fam. I get it. You might hate your colleague, but bro, you killed, bro. And the other officers, yeah, who just stood there and watched, like, back away, fam. Obviously, I wouldn't. I don't know if I would do this because I'll be real, yeah. I'll be with you, yeah.
I've seen African American police officers behave the same way. With other African Americans.
Again, that's institutional racism.
What is the police academy teaching these lot?
But again, because that's institutional racism, where like you're so in depth in this, you're like
brainwashed.
You're brainwashed. Like, for example, if you look at first gen like immigrants into the country or migrants to the country, either way. They would try their best to stay off the radar. They would even name their sons legit white people names. You know Ramesh Ranganathan, the comedian. Yeah. His first name is Jonathan.
Yeah, no, it's very common even with Pakistanis.
That's what I'm saying. So
when we came to fit in, to get jobs, to get freaking rent, like the houses and stuff, we had to adopt white names.
Yeah.
The Jewish community have done it for ages. They have the English name, and then they have the house Jewish community name as well. And it's just to help you fit in, and it's help you to be like.
But I think because of like from a young age, people.
Even I do that. My real name ain't Moses, but I use it on the phone. You know what I mean?
That's like people. I lost my train of. I lost my whole trail of thought. But people like because they're grown up, because we need to hide, or black people tend to do bad. Like those officers who do this. You said black officers who go on black people. It's just because they've grown up saying that black people are bad. Black people do this. I'm like, why? Same with after 9/11. Same with Muslims. Similar goes to Muslim. Or like, you're a terrorist. Like
but we didn't have Muslim like police officers pointing at Muslims saying you're terrorists. You know what I mean? Or treating us like...
No, but like in the airport, obviously this is uncomparable to what everyone else, other people suffers. It's obviously uncomparable. My situation is completely different. In the airport though, I went to America, In the airport, I got fucked. Okay.
You went with me or with another time?
No, I went to America, but I wasn't with you. On the way there, I was by myself. You lot left me. You lot left me. I took a flight. They're like,
you landed just before a couple hours before.
Yeah, they're like, okay, we're doing random spot checks. This is my first time going to America. Yeah, and probably last time after this. So I was going to America. They're like, we're doing random checks. Don't worry, we won't pick you as random. And I went. They're like, you scan your boarding pass, you enter through the gate, and you go board the plane. They're like, you've been chosen for a random spec. I'm like, why? Because my name is long ass and it has bare Iranian stuff in it. Like, why? In my passport, it says I was born in UK. I have a British passport. I was born in UK. I was born and bred here. Yeah. But they're like, well, because I have an Iranian name, they pulled me aside. And I've realized everyone who was pulled aside, were all ethnic outsiders to America. Like, I saw some random Asian guy got pulled over. I'm like, why? It makes no sense.
By the way, I got stopped as well for my flight.
On the way there?
On the way there. I was selected for a random search. And what they did was, all they wanted from me was swabs. Swabs of my hand and my feet.
And
to see if I touched any chemicals.
And what was in your bag?
My pouch. So it was my man bag, and I just had my.
So why do you think they stopped you? Because it was like your first time in the US.
Yeah, it could be. No, it wasn't my first time actually.
No,
It was
but
my
like-
third time.
Yeah, but like
But after a big absence. Yeah,
ever since
I haven't-
last time you won.
98 was the
Yeah.
last time I went. Yeah, and but alhamdulillah, our visas were accepted. We both got 10-year visas, by the way.
Jeez.
Yeah, so
You want us to come to America and invite us?
we got 10-year visas, and at the same time, I guess it was just extra precautions.
Yeah, but it's so unnecessary. Like
My
America.
boy, I don't want to mention his name. He knows who he is.
My boy.
He was stopped. I think interrogated for 3 hours, 4 hours interrogated at New York at JFK.
Mad.
Yeah.
I think so. Like obviously,
He's Asian, and his mates were Asian as well, but they didn't have Muslim names.
yeah.
So he was stopped. The others weren't.
I think so. I was quite lucky actually. My trip to America wasn't actually that bad.
Shout out to Amir Sadiq. The man with the afro.
I didn't suffer from anything like drastic. I didn't feel. Thing is, I don't feel like when someone's racist towards me. I was very few it happens, but some people are racist towards me. If it happens very few times, but it does happen. I just let it slide, and I've heard people. Yeah, my friends from my school and all of them, they've been, and like even friends from my uni, they're like, I've suffered through so much shit that it's mad. And I don't try. I want to sympathize with them because I can't sympathize with them. I've got friends from uni who suffer from racism, suffer from sexism, suffer from like all type of offensiveness.
Oh, but you know what? To be honest, yeah.
Like I know someone who's queer. He suffers from the same shit, and it's like,
He's queer.
yeah, because he's queer, or because he's part of the whole stigma of the LGBTQ community. Like you get shit because of what you believe, how you act, how you move, how you walk. Like, and obviously slang doesn't help. We don't have a visitor visa, so we're chilling. But
So talking about the Esther visa.
yeah, he's talking about Trump is gonna revoke visitor visas greater than 6 months length.
Oh, greater than 6 months in length. Yeah, ours is 10 years. It's greater than 6 months. Oh, damn.
We'll see. Mine will probably get cancelled because I'm not American or Muslim. Innit?
By the way, like you were saying, experiencing racism and stuff.
Yeah, like
I went to Kingston University, and I spent 3 years at Kingston, which is in Surrey, South London, just outside of South London.
mhm.
And there was a lot of racism there, unfortunately.
Bro, there's racism everywhere.
Even there was a place. No. The thing is, yeah, you need to understand.
What is it like subtle? Like
Kingston, no, it's not subtle. Kingston, yeah, is a majority, English, white English.
hey, can you stop?
That's probably Minhar. That's definitely Minhar Khafaji.
That's my brother. He's got beat.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, so Kingston had, Kingston is a place where it's majority English, white English.
Yeah.
You've got.
It's near Richmond, isn't it? So it's like.
Yeah, it's in Surrey. It's one of the richest areas in London, meaning people there are very, very wealthy. And at the same time, when you go to like the council estates there, it's all English people there as well.
Mhm.
And neighbouring areas like Surbiton, Norbiton, Chesington as well. Us people of people of colour, so us Asians and us black people as well. There's times where we'd go to certain shops or we'd go to certain places, but we were not made to feel welcome. Like they'll stare at you like, "What are you doing here?"
The funny thing is, I've like back in secondary school days as well. We used to go corner shops and stuff. Some corner shops wouldn't let us in at all.
Is it?
But
What area is this?
This is around like
Not era. What area?
I don't know what area.
So
What era? How old do you think
I
I
thought you
am?
were gonna say like, this was like 2005 or something.
No.
Like, what? No, mate. Come
No,
on.
this is around like again near Wood Green, near Honors Grove, near like that type of.
But these very mixed.
It's very mixed, but some shops they're just shit scared. Then
Again,
again,
especially with regards to kids.
no, but that's what I'm saying.
And they
No,
say
but as in like no.
school
But,
kids
for example,
shoplift,
of course school kids shoplift, but like no, but that's what I'm saying. Some places. So again, as well as following the stereotype of being school kids or teenagers or hooligans or gangs or whatever that they want to label. What happens is, like for example, I might be allowed in a shop. My friend's not gonna be allowed in it. It's happened where he's been held by the door. I had to go. I bought his stuff and gave it to him. Or times where none of us were allowed in. But I know for a fact, same guys from same schools are going in. Oh, policy only 2 kids at a time.
Yeah.
Like fuck off. No way. I get some people have 2 school kids at a time. Sometimes you just chat shit because you don't want people in. But if there's 5 people in, I can see 5 people in the shop, but you just don't want me to go in.
That is bad, but I can understand because when I was in high school,
yeah.
the local corner shop, if everyone went in, alright, there would be at least 20, 30 kids in there, all with their bags and everything, and they're all wanting to purchase, and it will be a very, very
Hectic environment.
not hectic, but it's a prime time for you know, people who pickpocket or people who like, you know, steal items.
Yeah.
To steal things, so they'll go for the, you know, the magazines or for the chocolates or for the drinks or whatever. While it's all like a lot of commotion and stuff like that. And I believe that these corner shops would, you know, enforce the 2 people per time.
So I agree. I agree with the two.
to stop people.
I agree with the 2-person rule limit. I agree with it. As if I was a shop
But
owner,
no one should be turned away from.
nothing.
service.
I wasn't a shop owner, but I was a clerk. I was running a whole shop by myself. I was running a whole shop, and like, bruv, there was at some point it was so crazy. Yeah, this guy robbed me in front of my eyes. I caught on CCTV as well, and like, I think I'm a dickhead. But like, I understand the whole 2 policy rule, and I accept that. You wanna depending on how big your shop and how hectic it is and the experience you've had, you might wanna keep certain rules to help protect your shop, your brand, and your whatever. But sometimes it goes too far. Like I've had I don't know if it's luck or if it's, I don't know the word, but luckily I haven't experienced any negative things. But I can't say the same for my friends. I've seen with my own eyes, like, certain hatreds towards people, and because I'm with them. But that's, if I'm with them, that's what they feel. Imagine what they feel by themselves. Imagine, like, again, I'm very ill-informed, like, with the whole, like, Black Lives Matter and this whole movement, this whole protesting that's been happening over the last week. I'm very ill-informed. I see Instagram thing here and like the occasional Twitter thing there, but I don't see enough to know. And like, people need to voice their opinions, voice their experiences, because until someone doesn't tell them what they've went through, no one's gonna think. I saw 2 YouTubers who talk about either what they felt or what their friends felt or what goes through their mind when they're going through certain situations. I'm like, shit, that's mad. It never occurred to me. Where, imagine you do work your hardest, you do this, but you've this goes back to my previous point, where you enter something or you achieve something, but you don't know if you've achieved it because you're great or because of the color of your skin or because of where you're from.
No, white privilege does exist, even in this country. It does exist. Where less.
No, but I'm saying, so you either have white privilege, white people go up, or you have, I'm hitting the diversity quotas and that goes up. Like, there's no, again, how you can raise as much awareness as you want, but you need a solution. And like, funny enough, I hate this guy, Logan Paul, I hate him, but he said something which is actually good, where he says it's not good enough in this day and age to not be racist. You need to be anti-racist. Yeah. That's good. Like, you just be like, oh, I'm not racist. No, you are. Everyone is racist. Whether you're black, white, Asian, Muslim, Indian, Chinese, you're all racist. You all, for a fact, you're racist or you're biased, because there's no such thing as you being non-biased. Nothing. I was raised as a Muslim, so I am biased again to certain things, because it's just how we're raised. It's not the excuse. I'm not excusing it. I have to change. I have to learn. I have to understand. But people need to go and push for that effort. I know you keep checking your phone. You want to go?
No. So that I'm checking for messages. But I was going to say that you were talking about being racist. No, there's another discussion on what is racism. Is it, you know, discriminating someone against the color of their skin, or is it the whole, what they call the systematic racism, where you deprive a nation of its culture, of its language, of its roots, and then on top of that, you don't allow these people to have equal rights? Or, for example, with African Americans, most of them don't know what part of Africa they come from. Most of them have lost their African language, so their African identity. They've lost their African identity,
Their heritage.
yeah, their heritage, and then on top of that, when they trying to, you know, they integrate in society. Now let's not forget, you know, before the civil rights movements, you know, there was like segregated schools, segregated buses. It was like apartheid, you know. But yeah, apartheid is probably the best word to use in, you know, states of America.
Define apartheid.
Apartheid, where the famous apartheid that I know of is the one in South Africa. Apparently, apartheid is being done right now in Israel and Palestine.
Yeah.
Apartheid is that you've got one system running for one race and another system running for another race.
Apartheid.
Yeah,
Okay.
apartheid. And it's separate. So, for example, you have buses that are only for black people to use and not for white people to use. Or you've got like schools, which is an all black school and all white school. There's no free mixing. It's separate. Even drinking water. They had different drinking fountains. One was for black people, one was for white people. What is that show? There's a film. Kevin Costner and blah, blah, blah. It's to do with NASA and the girls that do the calculations for NASA for flying and stuff like that.
You need to find out.
I can't remember what it's called. Is it the? It's recent though, in the last like 5 years or so.
Hidden Figures.
Hidden Figures. That's a Hidden Figures.
I really want to.
Have you seen
I
that?
still haven't seen that.
Hidden Figures.
It's really good.
Hidden Figures, because the lady, she was really good at her job, but she'd go missing for 45 minutes, and they're like, "What the hell's going on? What's happening?" And it was like, she goes like, "Look, I can only use the toilets for like colored people,
And it's
No,
far
people
away.
colored, and it's far away. It takes me this long to take, and she take her work with her, and then the thing you calculate, and she's there on the toilet doing her thing and that, and then coming back, and there's a scene where Kevin Costner comes and he smashes the sign that says black and or whites only on the toilet, and he goes, "You can use this one now. Like I'm, you're that important to my work, and that I need you. You know what I mean?
Here.
I can't have you wasting time and stuff like that. So I should do.
Yeah.
Like
No, but
So-
yeah.
It was. I mean, that's another good film. Another good film to watch. The Hate You Give. Oh, that is really
I know-
relevant right now.
And another one is When They See Us. I haven't seen that,
I
but
haven't seen that. I haven't
that's a
seen that.
documentary about 4 people who were, I think, it was like they went to court, they were wrongly accused, and it talks about how they went through all of this like thing, and like everyone uprising saying no, they're wrongly accused, and after like 20 years or so they come out. I've seen the trailer and I've seen bits of it here and there. Obviously I really don't watch it because like it's really not just enlightening, it just sheds a light on what situation is like for it's been like, I'm blessed to be in UK. Like obviously there is so much hate and
Shout
racism
out
here
to
as
my
well.
boy. Apartheid. Another word for it, racial segregation.
Like, that was so much easier than apartheid.
But the proper definition is apartheid.
But yeah, so like obviously I've been blessed to live in the UK to not see it exists. I'm not saying it doesn't exist. I'm not trying to turn a blind eye. It does exist and it is here, but there is less bias here, or we phase out of it more. It's here. It's still here. It's just
no. Racism is, and I'm talking like institutional racism. Is here. For example, yeah, how many of our coloured ethnic minorities get into Eton school?
very
You know what I mean? I know a couple of Pakistani kids that have been to Eton. You know what I mean? But it's like, at what cost? At what price? Have they lost their, Pakistani heritage? Have they become more? Have they adopted, English names rather than
Yeah.
using their traditional names given by their grandparents? So, look at members of parliament. How many ethnic minorities? Now you can say, oh wait, we've got man of colour for our London mayor. Sajid Javid was the foreign
yeah. Well,
secretary.
people say, for
But-
example, people like them. This is like a common slang term used in around Asia, coconut, or where like
You could say
where
that.
like they are people of color, people from ethnic backgrounds, not from local to the
Yeah.
country, but they are acting like they lived here for 1,000 years.
Yeah,
They've basically act like with privilege, like they're white.
yeah.
And like they've
There
like,
is a class issue here in the UK, 100%. Right? We don't see it because we're not in them social circles. But for those of you who have actually been to corporate level, working corporate, you will see that. You will see that, the class issue, or the class, you could call it the segregation of classes, where you've got working class, middle class, and upper class. And for us, working class, middle class is like, your working class, but you've got a bit of money.
Intertwined-ish, yeah.
It's we're more close together. But the upper class is something totally different.
it's bigger.
And we, as ethnic minorities, we haven't broken into that class, nor will we ever, because of the racial stigma. For example, you just got to look at Harry and Meghan. That's what you just look at that.
And also, like, if you look at Harry and Meghan, like, they're like, oh, we want to leave our royal duties.
Yeah.
Or they don't want to leave it, but they're like, we want to have a life outside our royal whatever. And, like, people, as soon as they've said that, no one stopped to think, okay, they just want to live a normal life. Many royals in the past have done that. What's wrong with this one? Oh, it's because of Meghan. I'm like, I saw loads of people with either in the news videos or the news titles, either a picture of Meghan in the title, something about the royal Duchess wanting to do this with her husband, not the prince wants to do this. It's like I don't know if they're like, oh, they say, oh yeah, he gets more clicks. It's just because she's black or she's darker skinned, because she's married a prince. Like that type of stuff really, really like it's there, and like you need to not just wake up and stop, but like you need to try and push forward, or like. Oh, what really pisses me off, I want to wrap up here. I don't want to talk too much because this has been going on for over an hour. But what's really going on? So you know the pro.
I don't want to shout out Luke. Luke, I'm reading your comments, man. Luke Oslav.
He's this guy's like.
This guy's woke. You need to guys read his comments, man. They're really good.
Also, by the way, if you want, not this week, from next week, we will have callers on the show. I'll set everything up. You can call in. You can speak to us. You can have your voice heard on the show. That's all up to you. I'll have a number ready by then. Hopefully, just pray in that, innit? But no, back to my point. So you know, the protests happening in America, protests happening in UK, and then they
all over the world
roll over to riots. People who are rioting are people who are against this. Or, for example, there are people who there's a peaceful protest. The guy goes, puts a flashbang, or he throws one of those
smoke grenades,
or even those firecrackers. They just make noise. They do that just to disrupt it and cause, oh look, they're rioting. And like even police officers, I've seen a couple of videos on YouTube where a police officer is in his riot gear holding the shield saying, look, we know you're doing a peaceful protest, we can see you and we can see the people doing riots, we can tell the difference. You try and stay away from the people doing riots because you can tell if someone's ill-intentioned.
Yeah.
If someone's doing protests, obviously everyone's in a face mask due to health and safety, not because they want to hide their face. So it's obviously quite difficult in this climate. But why does it have to be in this climate? And it's going to be my final words. In this climate where Corona is here, no one's at job, everyone's at home, everyone's on media. Why does it have to be now where people finally realize or wake up, or all these protests happen? They happen every so often. Like someone was telling me every 10 years or so is a big
uproar.
Every 10 years or so, it dies down again. How much in a bit? By 2021, it'll be calm again. It'll be quiet. Like, oh yeah, we've not fixed it, but we've progressed. And then give it another few years, and it's gonna
it's like the Grenfell issue or the Mark Duggan issue that it took something to spark it, and people were outraged by it. Right,
Yeah,
Mark
but
Duggan.
how long? How long are you gonna keep sparking that shit?
Do you know what? With America, and I'll be honest, there is no solution until Trump resigns or someone
It's not
shoots
just
him
Trump,
in the head.
bruv.
No,
Obama-
this guy's a racist prick, bro. He ain't not gonna let these people have their rights. I'm telling you that now. Yeah, and then the Republican
Yeah, but
Party
you need
as well.
you need someone like Obama to step forward, or even better. We need
To be
someone
honest,
better than
Obama was better, but everything that happened in Ferguson. If you remember Ferguson,
Remind me.
this is when Black Lives Matter started. When they were shooting, Ferguson was an area in America where black people were being gunned down. And I remember a 13-year-old boy running from the police because he was scared, and he had his hands up. And he was shot down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so forth. This is where the Black Lives Matter, the name and the campaign started was in Ferguson. And this is in the rule. This is in the when Obama was in house.
Mm-hmm. You know what police officers should do? You're gonna laugh at this as well. Probably you lot at home, and you're gonna be like, "Oh, this guy's not taking this seriously." If you don't play Call of Duty and you play hardcore, you can kill your own teammates. Learn to play. These officers on the level. These officers need to play Call of Duty hardcore. Okay, any game mode, whatever. But what you do is, you have to learn and wait who's on your team and who's not. Don't shoot anyone until the guy starts shooting at you.
It's not even that. Do you know, I was listening to the LBC today. That James O'Brien. Guys, listen to James O'Brien. He's a sound guy. He was saying that you know how long it takes to become a police officer with a gun, or trained to do the training and everything.
I swear, like a couple months, not even. The academy is like
16 weeks.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You're telling me a man can handle a gun after 16 weeks?
People, like in America, you just literally you finish school. Like I finished school, I'm gonna go do police academy. You do it over the summer, from like beginning of July to end of August. You're sorted.
That's bullshit, man.
Like there was a
these cops are just trigger happy, man. They're scared for their lives.
There's a movie back in the day by Martin Lawrence.
Which one? To be police?
Blue
Streak.
Not Blue Streak. He's in the academy. One of his movies, isn't it? That film is like, I've done the academy in a month and a half, and he's there having a gun the next day. Like, police in America is bad. In the UK, from what I know, because my friend's trying to be a police officer, and my other friend's friend is, for you to be an officer here, you can't just go to the academy. It doesn't work like that. You need to do 2 years civil service.
Yeah,
course.
you got to do the community service.
No, not community. Civil service course. It's a course.
Oh, wow.
For you to be a public servant, you need to do a 2-year course on being a public servant. You need to like for example, if you want to be a lawyer, if you want to be, well, not necessarily a lawyer, but if you want to be like in the city house, or you want to be a police officer, or you want to be in certain things here and there, you need to do a 2-year course. My friend's doing it now. I forgot what it's called. If you're watching, just comment it down below. If not, later. It's called civil something. But you learn how to learn certain things as well as doing his normal military training, because he's a police officer, he needs to be fit. So he's got one module where he should keep fit and make the right decisions. But it's all there. So I don't know. In America, it doesn't need a new president or think they need to.
Oh, they do. 100% they do. Trump needs to go.
I'm not saying UK police are any good. But
Well,
compared to America,
they're a lot better than America.
they're a lot
way better.
Like for example, when we have carnival here, yeah. Obviously, I can't speak for everyone, but I've seen police officers chilling. Obviously, there are dickhead police officers there for sure, and there are people grown with prejudice and whatever. But people like. It's much better than America. Like, look, bro, all it takes was one guy doing something. In UK, this doesn't happen as often. Again, it's bad enough I'm saying as often because it should never happen. But there's no at least, or it just doesn't happen often here. That should be zero, and it happens everywhere in the world. There's prejudice and bias everywhere in the world.
One thing I mean, if taken out that we haven't discussed, which is a better contributing factor, is that guns are illegal in this country. So 9 times out of 10, police are not worried about getting shot by
No, but if you look at, that's true. But if you look at, because it's illegal here, it's rare to see a gun. So police can take a second to think, and because of that, they've learned if they see a gun object or a foreign object they don't understand, they don't shoot first, ask questions later. Because everyone is allowed everything in America, because it's our constitutional right. Fam, your constitutional right should be staying safe. You allowing guns to protect your home is dog. Because how can you protect your home if you can't protect yourself?
It's true.
If I was in America, I'll probably be a gun owner. Because why? I would find it interesting. Not because I want to protect myself. People say, I want to protect myself. It's chatting crap. Because some people can chat crap to get what they want. Yeah, I want to be a gun owner. I need to protect my house, protect my family. And the real reason is I want a gun because it's fun.
By the way, I mean, I did shoot guns in America, and the video's coming soon. Don't watch that.
Oh shit, yeah. I did shoot guns. Trap out here. No, but like some even saying comments. Keep in mind, yeah, school shooters in America never get shot down, but a black guy walking down the street and putting his hands up still gets shot down.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
that's a good point. Who is that?
That's my friend Gonzalo.
Gonzalo, big ass. That's a wicked point, man.
And like, again, that's true. Bro, you could have Vegas shooting. The guy didn't get shot down. He's in a
Who was the guy that shot up the gospel choir? The church. He shot up the church.
Oh, the one, was it in Sweden or Germany or something?
In America, bro.
There was another one in Europe as well. Okay, but besides the point,
You're talking about the mosque? No, the mosque was New Zealand.
Mosque was New Zealand. But do you see what I mean? This guy, he's got a camera on his forehead, he's going around shooting people, and he runs away. This guy's
it looked like Call of Duty. That was mad.
Bro, he was playing Call of Duty, fam, in real life.
Scared how realistic and how similar it was to Call of Duty.
Bro, it was like my paintball video. It was like my paintball video.
It becomes normalized to you, like,
But
become desensitized.
Again, we're going way off topic here. We've diversed and just expressed. Again, it's very heated. We might have another podcast soon. I'll speak with Umar then.
Yeah.
I'll let you lot know. For sure, from now on, every Friday, we're back.
We'll try to do this.
We're not 2 meters apart. Apologies for the social distancing, but we're fine. This is enough to keep us safe. But we'll be back every Friday from 8 to 9 or 8:30 to 9:30. Within that time period, subscribe, turn on notifications.
Like and subscribe. Sevrex.
Subscribe, notifications. If you're watching this on Facebook, like, follow, turn on notifications. I
donate.
I try and go live. But yeah, like we have so much notices that we haven't got. We even haven't touched the quarantine notes. Obviously, it's getting late. People are tired of watching. We'll quickly go through these to make sure we've covered.
You can do it next week. Don't worry. We can discuss next week.
Wants to go on, but
if
you don't have anything in mind, like you want us to talk about specifically, or anything you want to see, I know we've ended on an abrupt note. Again,
we will bring Sayyid Murtada's fat loss solution to you guys.
No, but like, okay, wait. Before we go, why should guns should not be illegal? Any type of weapon should not be legal because America is one of the few countries where guns are legal and they have the most problems in the world. Okay.
What does that mean?
Ammo. I don't know. IMO. Wait, what? Explain IMO. I'm baffled.
IMO gun should be illegal. I don't know what that means.
It's like. By the way, I think in my opinion, guns should not be illegal. any type of weaponry should not be illegal. Do you want to do self-defense? Go learn martial arts. You laugh, go.
No, but I mean, you say that, yeah, but you know where we come from, right? I'm talking about back in Iran, Pakistan, Middle East, even in like the Far East.
Bro, I'll put like it's
swords. Everyone had a sword. Everyone has a
but
sword.
that's to do with cultural thing. That's a more.
No, everyone has a sword that is sharp.
To be honest, in the UK as well, everyone has.
But the thing is,
back when
the sword is not as deadly.
Do you know why though? Do you know why in UK we drive on the right hand side?
Because when the horses,
we grab a sword with the right.
Sword and
exactly. So obviously, everyone's all about. Thank you everyone for in my opinion. Sorry, I didn't know what IMO means. Everyone's spamming in my opinion. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. But no, as in like, you want to learn self-defense, go learn something that can't cause long-term harm. The reason again is slightly
short-term death.
Slightly safer here is because our police don't have guns.
But the police don't have guns because the public don't have guns.
No, that's what I'm saying. If in America the police are the aggressor always. The police are always the aggressor.
Well, they're taught to take control of the situation, and they do that aggressively, unfortunately. Oh, someone please tell me about this, right? Quickly before we leave here, because this is a really important point. That experiment when they got volunteers and they made some prisoners and some guards. Have you heard that doctor? He does that experiment. They made a film about it as well, apparently, and it showed that when the guards started doing things out of their code of conduct. They became more aggressive or more powerful, or they took advantage of their power.
No, but this happens every. This happens every.
No, but this was a scientific experiment.
No, that's what I'm saying. So like, you know, if you know you can get away with, for example, speeding on the A406 or speeding on the highway because there's no cameras, I can get away with it. So then what you're gonna end up doing?
You take advantage.
You take advantage. Like, you know what? This road has no cameras at all. Let me try and speed. Or you don't know that there's a maybe private police car or there's a child across the road that you can't see. He's crossing. You because you get used to these leniencies because there's no one on top of your head. Yeah.
So if military, who's that, Luca?
If you give the military guns, what stops?
I'll talk to you about that, Luca, because I've got some experience with this in terms of my age and my background culture. When you have military take over, it's called martial law. The military are supposed to act on behalf. So the UK military, the British military, act on behalf of the Queen, not really the government. So they don't really answer to the government.
But it is technically the government because the Queen's just a figurehead.
The Queen has to believe it or not.
She has to say yes.
Okay to everything.
No, but that's formalities.
It's formalities.
Yeah.
But
it's like when you ask your mom to go. It's like when you ask your mom for something. Like you're not asking her because she's gonna say. Like I still ask my mom when I want to do stuff. Why? Because it's not because I live with her. It's because I ask her respect, not because of that.
Yeah, fair enough.
Like if you don't ask the Queen, that's it.
So if the military were to take over, that's known as martial law.
Thank you. Stanford prison experiment. That's what you're talking about.
Oh, who's that?
No shout out names, but yeah. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Hope you're well.
My friend, I know who you are. I hope you're well. Yeah, that's the Stanford prison experiment. Guys, research the Stanford prison experiment. Watch. Okay, so this is my. If you want to know what's going on in the world right now,
you want good entertainment and have some history.
Watch
The Banker.
Yeah. Watch Just Mercy.
Yep.
Watch The Hate You Give. Watch Spike Lee's Do the Right Thing. That is very important. Do the Right Thing. And it's very, very... Oh, actually, The Hate You Give and Do the Right Thing, these two are the most important ones to watch because it involves police killing African Americans.
So and watch When They See Us.
And if you can do some research on the Stanford prison experiment.
Yeah. Like, okay,
I'll give you an idea.
Before we end, everyone says, "Oh, get your voice heard. Get your voice heard. Don't be ignorant. Don't just think." If you're like, again, I have this problem as well. Is I'm passive. I don't get involved. Or is I see this happen in the news, but I don't research and learn and think. So you've researched. You know about the Stanford experiment. You know about this. You know about that. You can mention certain people who've unfortunately have lost their life due to police brutality, and lost their life due to racial bias or sexual bias or whatever. I don't know these stuffs. I'm ill-informed, but it's not because I'm ill-informed due to what's on the news. I'm ill-informed because I don't do research. I don't understand. I don't go through the stories. I did some research. I found out that George Floyd and the dickhead who killed him, wallah, they were friends. And because he had that bias from day one. And like, you need to do your research. You need to understand, not just because what's happening and why is it happening, but go to the root. Try and figure out. Because if every person has... not just the page, it just puts 5 minutes into research, bro. You got Google, you can say Siri, do this for me, do that for me. Yeah? And like you need to learn this shit, because if you don't learn, you're not gonna improve. if you don't do like again, because I've experienced with walking around in like as they say certain neighborhoods. I don't get. It's not about getting scared or portraying the stereotype. Because I know that shit, because I've experienced it, I know how to I know how to react. My friends all say that I've suffered from this, or I've been offended by that, or I get treated like this and I get mistreated. It's like, can I get the link to donation for BLM? I'll find them. I'll put them in. If someone else, Luke, I trust you. Go find the right donation links. Put them in. And I'll put them in my comment. Donate to organizations. Don't just donate to any. Do your research about that organization as well. Like I'm telling Luke to do it because Luke will research for me. He will tell me this goes to there. You can't just okay. You know I saw this on the news. I'm gonna donate £5 to help people do this or donate to causes like that. Don't just do it. Research. Understand why. Well, yeah, I've said too much. I think.
Thank you very much. Like, subscribe, Severix.
Yeah.
And hopefully we'll be back next week.
Yeah. So once a week. If you want to see anything special, let me know. You can call me, message me, DM me, Instagram me. I got all my social plugs in the world.
Let me know when the barbershop's open so I get my haircut.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Comment, like, and subscribe. Make sure you subscribe. Notification bell so you know next time I go live. Share this out. Maybe if you disagree with me, also say, Amir Reza, you're lying. You're chatting breeze. Shut up.
Someone's already said that.
People have said that, but as in
which already said that.
Like if you think I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong, and I'll learn. I want to understand why. If you're like, oh no, you're biased yourself, I'm like, I am. If anyone says they're not biased, that's a lie. Everyone says they're not racist, that's a lie. Everyone's racist and biased in some way, shape, or form. But yeah, hope you enjoyed. I've been chatting too much breeze now.
I'm taking the rappers out.
Yeah, thank you for watching.